First of all, let us give glory to God for all this wondrous work that is happening through Loud Cry Ministries, and the fact that we have the privilege of working. It's just so joyous, and that we're all working together, and it's, we've created a family within the church, a big family within the church. It's just so amazing, and it's so wonderful, and we've almost got a church within a church, and we're all so focused, and it's really, just amazing. So I give glory and praise and thanks to God for that, opportunity. Now, what I wanted to say is regarding before I can say anything about the testimonies, regarding us going out and going everywhere, our biggest need is we need support with travel funds. And I spoke to Sister Tendai a long time ago about this, and I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning it, but I thought it would be a good idea if whoever can afford to do so sends £10 a month to Sister Tendai and Talent for travel funds for people who want to go out, so that when we need to have travel money, we can just send to Tendai and Talent and say, oh, please can you send us £100 travel money or whatever, and they send it out of the travel fund, and then we provide receipts so that everyone knows where the money is going. We provide receipts for train tickets and what have you, because we are intending and hoping that we will together be able to go to different towns and villages and cities and what have you, and ask the churches to buy books, and that they have the books ready for us when we are coming for a week. Because we've managed to have accommodation made available to us at £12 or £15 a night in many parts of the country, and that's through my landlord. So it's really an amazing opportunity for Richard and I to move all over the country, and support the churches, motivate the churches to be going out, get people to join Loud Cry Ministries, etc., etc. The other thing is, many of the people we're meeting, they're keen on Bible study groups, and some of them are keen on joining a house church, which means that we're getting names and data all the time, Richard and I. And already Attila, our dear brother Attila, has said he's quite happy to have a house church in his house in London. So there's quite a few Londonites who we can then invite to Bible studies and house church at Attila's home in London. And maybe there are other people. We absolutely need people to take on board to do Zoom Bible studies with groups, because we're getting people who want Bible studies. They've given us their emails. They want us to email them when the Zoom Bible study is going to take place. And it is our view that the people should come to Loud Cry Ministries first to be taught and guided and learn things, rather than going into churches where we don't know what's happening in individual churches, because we know there's a lot of nonsense going on in a lot of churches. And I mean, shockingly, we heard that Richard and I, a testimony of Christians the other day from their Christian church who were told that Jesus had Down syndrome from the pulpit. Can you imagine? They were told that Jesus had Down syndrome from the pulpit. They were horrified and mortified. Not that there's anything wrong with someone having Down syndrome, but Jesus is the perfect spotless Lamb of God, and this is the thing. And these are the kind of crazinesses that are going on out there. So that's the first thing I just wanted to say. If anybody feels that they can donate to a travel fund and an expenses fund to Talent and Tendai for general people going out, that is not going to be used by Loud Cry Ministries per se, but used by individuals, where we apply to Talent and Tendai for help, then please, if everybody's keen, then please do, because it'll be very helpful to us. Now, the people that we met were just awesome. First of all, I want to say that one of the reasons why I believe that people were coming in to Michelle and them for books was because Paul was down the way, Paul Murray, he was down the way, and he was saying, the real king is the King of Kings, and he's coming soon, and he is king over Charles. Okay, and he was busy declaring Jesus as King of Kings to everybody who was passing by. And that was just amazing. And Peter, Paul, and I were together on one occasion, and literally a box emptied in 3 minutes. It was just so staggering. So that was just one real highlight. But I'll give you a couple with Richard and I. There was this lady Agnes and her friend Darvan being a Buddhist. And when I went to them, they didn't want to have any knowledge they didn't want to know anything about the books. Okay, they didn't even want to talk to us. But then later on, Richard went over to them and they took books. And so I saw that. So I went back to them and I said, you didn't take the books from me, but you took them from Richard, you know? And they said, oh yes, he's most charming. So they said, he's most charming. So I said, oh, okay, that's wonderful. I said, have you got any questions? And I managed to talk to them for about 40 minutes and they had refused the books. And they took the books, they gave me their emails, they want to be on Zoom Bible studies. And the one was a Buddhist and she didn't want to know anything about Jesus. But after we were finished our conversation, God had moved so much that she was now interested in Christ. And when they went off somewhere, and when they came past me again, they said, bye-bye, friend, bye-bye, as they crossed over to Hyde Park, which was absolutely wonderful. Then there was this other lady, Tandy George, who came along, who Ian warned us might be a time waster. However, she's a very interesting character, and I'm wondering if we should make contact with her. She was talking about all these paintings she's got that are worth a lot of money if she sold them, and she's looking for someone to donate them to. Paintings she's done herself. Of course, we don't know what the subject matter is. But she said, I'm quite famous. I've written many books. I've written 22 books. And she's quite wealthy. And she said, I want to give these paintings to a charity so that, and I think maybe, you know, so then I said, well, what about, would you give them for promotion of the gospel? And she said, well, I'll consider it. So I'm still thinking about whether we should speak to her, because she had a few weird ideas. But the fact is, God did say that people would come from, you know, the world to give us funds to finance the work. So we might indeed talk to her. I need to talk to Talent and Tendai about it a little bit more. So that was that. Then we had this guy, Brandon Perry, who he first talked to Richard, and Richard realized this man knew so much about Bible prophecy, etc., etc. And Richard called me over, and I started talking to Brandon Perry. Then we took him to Ian. Then it was Ian, Richard, and who else was it, Richard?
I'm not sure, actually.
There we had Ian, myself, Richard, and I can't remember who else was standing with us, but it might have been Peter. And they were talking to Brandon Perry for about 45 minutes. And Brandon Perry wants to join Loud Cry Ministries. He's in England from America, and he's looking for people that he feels are teaching the truth and that are you know, really focused. And he's asked us to get in touch with him about joining Loud Cry Ministries and being part of Loud Cry Ministries and attending Bible studies with Loud Cry Ministries. So he was amazing. Then we had a Muslim guy, Abdullah, who came really to teach us about Islam. But he was fairly liberal, and he talked to Richard and I, and he so admired Richard's approach in how Richard taught things that he started to take an interest. And at the end, he said he took books, and he said to Richard and I, and specifically Richard, that he's going to think about asking Jesus, asking Allah, who is Jesus. Because Richard said to him, ask God who is Jesus, don't listen to me, and this is what Richard said. And he loved Richard's approach, which was absolutely excellent. So this is something we can learn, is that we need to tell these Muslim people, ask God personally, who is Jesus? Don't believe what you've heard, ask. So that's just something I wanted to share. Who else can I tell you about? These were people we met on the day, on the coronation day. So let's leave it at that. We've met other people as well. Oh, Fred and Alex. Fred is a Hindu, Alex is an atheist, and they came over to us. They're very close friends. And they came over and they saw the statue, and the posters, and they said, now, something's very funny. Why are all the religions out on the street? Something is going on. Is this the end? This is how they came. Why is it that all the religions are out on the street? And after about half an hour of me telling them about the statue and prophecy and this and that, they both, being a Hindu and an atheist, took the books and said they want to know more, and they're interested in Bible studies. Praise be to God. Amen. So we give all glory to God. There's just so many things going on, honestly and truly. It's just mind-blowing. But anyway, we have to build our little database, and then we'll share that, we'll share with people who want Bible studies, and we'll try to see, how we can set up some sort of Zoom where people take responsibility for Bible studies. Because if we're doing the work in the field, we can't be doing all of that as well. So we'll have to have lots of support for all of that. But, both myself and Richard are committed to going out all the time. This is what I've waited for 18 years.
Amen.
So praise be to God.
God himself originates the plans for the advancement of his work, and he has provided his people with a surplus of means, that when he calls for help, they may cheerfully respond. If they will be faithful in bringing to his treasury the means lent them, his work will make rapid advancement. Many souls will be won to the truth, and the day of Christ's coming will be hastened.